Welcome to the Traders Show. This episode is brought to you by Paperstone.
Greetings everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Traders Show. So on today's episode, we were to have a guest, but he couldn't avail himself for personal reasons. So today we decided with the boys we are going to talk about just random stuff about our trading life, how our trading life has been, probably since the last year or two until where we are right now. Our plans with the company also, maybe expansion and everything. This year we moved to a bigger office slightly from what we had last year. So we're going to maybe just share stories, a lot of hard stuff that we've been going through. But I hope it motivates you to never quit in trading, give you the reality of what it takes to make it in these markets. Markets are difficult, but I always tell my boys, the only holy grail is never giving up. So if you can never give up, it will work out someday. I think my colleagues can introduce themselves. Okay.
Hello traders. So like Lawi has said, today we're going to talk about our experiences in trading, entrepreneurship, building the business, making milestones, having plans, our random experiences for the last 6 years, because things have been happening randomly. Most things by there are not really planned. If you look back, well, you might really have had a plan, but often your plan doesn't work. So you have to somehow come to terms with reality and deal with it in a specific way. So we're going to talk about some of those things that happened randomly, that worked well, and others that didn't work well. And we're going to hopefully motivate some of you to also embark on some journeys. As much as they're difficult, I think they're also worth it if you look back. Because by the end of the day, what really matters is will you achieve your goal? If you will achieve your goal, even if you've used a longer route, I think ultimately that's more important than not trying at all to pursue that goal. So like Lavi has said, I think resilience is an important trait in a human being, generally in whatever field you're in whatever circumstances you're in. I think at some point we all get knocked down and you must find a way to come back up. So I think resilience is very important, and that's what we're going to share with you, I think, today. The story of how we've been resilient to get to where we are today. That's basically the story, I think. Yep.
Yeah, what's up, guys? So, as my boys have said, that's what we'll talk about. For those who do not know me, I'm Caleb, and we've had quite a journey. Many people think we've had it easy. We haven't. Business is tough. Business is hard. It's still hard. Trading is harder than, because we try and do two things at the same time: trading and running a business, which is both equally hard. Trading is even much more harder. But over the years, we've been resilient. As Ken and my partner and Taras have said, not giving up has been our sort of mantra. We just go pushing forward. So we've come a long way. We started in a bed-sitter in our 2-bedroom house, starting our trading journey. We've talked about this. Ken's laptop has been stolen, not once or twice. I think it was once.
I lost it once.
Yeah, he lost it once. He got lost. We started the business with no money. We had to look for funds. We once held an event that no one came.
No one paid for.
No one paid for. Yeah,
people came.
Yeah, people came.
But no one paid for.
Yeah, because this journey of ours started back in 2016. It's been a long journey. Now it's 2022, and it's good to do a recap for you guys to understand how far where we started, because there are many of you guys who are starting there, and it's important for you guys to know we didn't have it all. We didn't have the money while starting out. We didn't know what trading is. We thought, as my boys said, we've been saying in our other podcast, we thought we'd travel in the next, it was what, few months?
Yeah,
A few months.
Dubai.
Few weeks, few months.
And today will be raw. We've never gone to Dubai
Yet 6 years later.
6 years later. So that's the reality of business, of trading. What Ken was saying, you plan for stuff, but sort of us as humans, we normally set really audacious, over the bar targets, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But reality tends to hit you along the way, because now you get some things that come and hit you, expenses, something that just wasn't part of the plan.
And that's one thing that I'll also like us to talk about today. Sorry for...
No, it's
I
fine.
just want to talk about it and don't see how.
Yeah.
It's in line with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I also want us to think about, is it that you're bad at setting goals?
Uh-huh.
Like, are we generally poor at setting goals such that you decide, I'll do this by this time, and generally you
won't meet it.
exactly
Yeah.
generally you come off the mark or something. Is it, you get my point?
I get your point.
Is it that you're out of tune with reality this much?
Yeah, I think mostly you're out of tune with reality. Because, for example, when people are finishing high school, these guys have never been taught the reality of what is out here. They don't know what taxes are. They don't know expenses you're going to pay. You've been brought up by your parents. Everything was... You didn't have the reality side, okay? And you're in school, you're being fed. Now when you come out here, when you're setting your goals, the way people start saying, I'll be rich by this time, I'm going to travel to this place. And then all of a sudden, now reality hits you. You have expenses you're going to meet. You're told your brothers and sisters you need to feed them. You need to take them to school. So sort of, because right now, if you look at
money.
Because if you look at your goals, Taras and Ken, that you set right now, they're much more different. You remember, honestly speaking, the goals we keep talking about, zile zangu, zile big boy. The big boy.
This guy was to make, I don't know how many dollars an hour. How much was it?
It was to make $1 million a year. So I broke it down to about, I think it was
It takes time, bro.
$2 a second. $2 a minute.
A minute.
Yes. Hey, I'm not sure if you make that money.
Yet.
And that is 24 hours a day.
That was back in what? 20, when we were setting those. We called them. I remember sitting with Ken. Because that's how we started. We started.
It was in 2018 because...
just after you moved in.
Yeah.
To Zimmerman.
Yeah, 2018.
Because during that time is when we started, we moved in with Ken, we were living together, then we started setting goals. During that time, when we started reading, I never used to be a reader. I never used to read at all. Ken, alianza kunifunza, or rather giving me books. You know, when you sit around people who are reading, you want to, the way they talk, it's different than people who are not reading. So to say, not in a bad way, but it's hard right now even sitting with people who are not intellectually deep. Like, what you are talking about, you want to go deep into, do you understand the subject you're talking about? Because you are curious to learn. So we want to learn from someone deeply. So what I was saying, when we started out, we were reading books like motivational books. And those are the things that give us those audacious goals.
Yeah,
those ideas.
Robert Kiyosaki, those people. How you're going to turn your money into $1 million, what Taras is saying. I'm not yet there, but I'm on the way there. But it's been now 6 years.
Yep.
Reality. So yeah. So
like the same way you are saying, we think we've talked about it in the previous podcast. That if you were to know the reality of the markets, or maybe the experiences you'll get in the markets beforehand, it would have been very difficult for you to to still be like
optimistic
to start doing,
like to
what?
To journey through that pain, you see, because for us it's a surprise. Okay, like, but you continue moving on. But if you know the reality, most likely most people wouldn't take this path, because as I've said again, it not only just takes time. It takes a lot of mental hustle. Takes a lot of cash. Exactly, cash sacrifices. Like for me personally, I was talking to Ken. I've not gone home since January. I've not seen my parents since January. So it's just crazy.
How does that feel?
I don't know.
It feels bad, of course.
Yeah. But of course, I want to plan and go see them soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's all that sacrifice. There's finances. It takes a lot of, like, you have to sacrifice a lot of money also into funding an account. Because back in the days, like raising $300 was not an easy thing. Like, your parents are not giving you money. You're saving the little you can get.
Because you're not working.
Yeah. You save $300, you make a few coins, because that time I think me and Ken were earning a few monies from trading with those small accounts. Because we were by that time we were risking a lot.
Ken, and me, what was I doing that time?
you were in UK, I think. That time when I think it was that time.
Yeah.
So that time we were making some money from trading. I think I even improved my living standards a bit.
How much of an account are you trading?
Hey, that time I think I had a
Larry, first of all, you
250 or 300 account dollar.
But most times you started with $150.
50, yeah, exactly.
You would pull it up all the way to $600, $700.
Hey, that time,
a few
I was
weeks.
making money. Hey,
A few weeks, $700, $800.
because our risk that time was like for boys
Because I remember there was a time
5%. Once I remember
It is
reading Ken's
per trade.
journal. I remember reading Ken's journal.
10%.
Hey, I will be risking 10% on this trade.
Back then.
But it was because an account is $150.
Yeah, so $10 is not
I used
$15
to
only.
make
Exactly.
money, bana, for like 6 months, I think. I consistently made over 50% return.
Month in, month out.
Month in, month out. Like every week I'd be making like $200 to $50
And let me
That
tell
time we
you guys
used to
the
call
truth.
the boy plunger. Hey, Ken
from my
was-
trading.
Let me tell you, when us we started trading, I remember the trajectory we've had in trading. Me, I never used to take trades.
Yep.
Me, Kinataras used to. Okay, first of all, when I met Taras for the first time, it was that day I came to your house.
To Ken's house.
It was-
Ile day, look
but you guys,
structure.
you were in the same
yeah,
place.
same building. Yeah.
You know, Ndani.
Look.
Look structure. Look left structure leads clue.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the
So,
word.
because I knew Ken, then Ken introduced me to Taras and the other guys who were trading with. So when I came, I'd learned myself. So I knew structure, I knew market structure, and that's what I've specialized in till today. And that's what I teach. That's what I trade. So I used to teach I used to show them those stuff. And then when I started trading, also when I started, I think my first account was a small account, about $100. I never used to take trades.
And that time,
I never used to execute. You guys used to take trades.
yeah. I
Then
remember
I'm
us we used to
wondering,
trade.
hey, why am I not trading? Then when I take trades, when Kinataras come and tell me, hey, Caleb, have you taken a trade? That I'm like, yeah, I've taken. Risk how much? Now mine was opposite. 0.1%, 0.2.
And even your account was not that volatile. You see,
Yeah,
when you
it
lose,
was
you're
never
down
volatile.
-1. When you win, you're up +1.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're up +0.85.
Because I've never blown an account. Because I used to do those things. And because me from the word go, I used to be afraid to lose money. Kitambo, I was afraid. So I learned how to position size nicely. Then I used to take kidogo risk. So when Ken used to tell me, hey, Caleb, 5%, 6%, 10%, I'm even could double account. Me, I've not moved. Just there. But it takes time. And I'm sure most of you are in that position. But it takes time. You go, you learn how to trade, and then you learn how to do proper risk management. Then you know now what percentage to put per trade. So yeah.
Paperstone gives you access into the global markets with more trading opportunities, first-class customer service, and peace of mind. Withdrawals are quick, and for those in Kenya, M-Pesa is enabled. Paperstone Markets Kenya is regulated by the Capital Markets Authority. To open an account with Paperstone and begin your trading, click the link on the description below.
So when we were starting trading, that's how we started. Then now, as you were saying, Ken and I moved into the same place. Then Taras used to come. And then now during that time, we didn't have money. We've dropped out of school. Our parents are not supporting us because we're starting a career that no one else, there's no benchmark. There's no one who could show like, okay, there's this guy who's done it. We're looking to become as big as that. We were sort of the, trailblazers. The guys who are starting pioneers.
Yeah, maybe.
More or less. So we were starting this career and everyone else, there's no one else doing it that much. We used to follow some guys. You remember those guys we used to see online? We used to look at Kina Sandile. And then in Kenya, we used to see the big guys we used to see those days. Okay, I don't know where they went today. You remember Forex 6 God?
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
Remember
also-
Forex 6 God?
Yeah. But I think he still
Even
trades.
joined one of their groups.
He still trades though.
Still today?
I think he does.
Yeah, so those are the guys who are setting the benchmark. But then there was no one doing it professionally. So we said we'll become those people. But anyway, now trading, as Kena saying that don't blew an account. I remember that account I was trading that $100. I wasn't trading it nicely. So it was going down. I was consistently losing, which you'll normally do when you're starting out. So it figured a point. I started with $100. It shook down till I think $50, $40. Then I stopped trading it. I just left it alone. Then Ken came one day and found me with it. Caleb, do you have an account? I'm like, Z. Then he's like, ile account ilienda hapi? I'm like, it's it's there, but I have $40. Ken took it and blew it. $40. It's like, Caleb, this one, if you lose, it's kidogo. And then those times, you remember we used to use offshore brokers. So I couldn't remove that money. It was because they were saying, I don't know what they were saying.
Withdrawing was a process.
Yeah, withdrawing was a process, then it was expensive.
Yeah.
And I think like that's one thing that most people have to come and accept.
What?
You must lose money in order for you to learn to trade.
I lose a lot of money.
You lose money for you to learn how to trade. There is no way you're escaping losing money if you want to learn how to trade.
So those guys who don't want to lose, what can you advise?
Don't do trading.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
It's plain and simple. Don't do it because you won't learn.
Yeah.
There's
That's
no
true,
way
that's
to
true.
learn this thing without. Who have you seen?
Who's never lost.
They
Okay.
learned how to trade.
That's simple. You can't. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You must blow at least 2-3 accounts.
Mm.
You must go through that learning curve for you to learn
Deep
things like risk
drawdowns.
management,
Mm.
drawdowns, for you to develop a system.
It's pretty a lot of work.
Yeah.
So losing is a part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not
How many
losing-
accounts have you lost?
a couple bana. Hey.
Ukianza kucount ile ya kwanza.
Hey,
You know the problem with us, we were trading very tiny accounts. $300, $200, $150.
And like,
You know, literally, when I teach my students, even I tell them, even what these brokers tell you, even $200 deposit, let me tell you how impossible it is to trade it. You can't take a trade that has more than 60 pips stop loss. You have to trade 0.0. Your lot size should be 0.002 or something.
0.
0.0. So you can't put 0.01.
that's another thing. The number of lots you're trading is key.
So the lot size on a trade, ni mse akona $1,000, 0.01. Uko na $100. So already una risk 10.
And you show them mathematically how it's impossible to do it.
Yeah. That shows you, hey, your risk is actually 10%, not? Like you literally can't risk a percentage.
You can't
risk a percentage.
impossible.
Yeah, because the percentage is $1.
Unless you're taking a
You see,
small...
a percentage is $1. $1.
percentage.
A percentage of $100 is $1. So you're risking $1 on a 60 pip stop loss.
to make $4.
How?
It can't work.
It can't work. You can't position size. So $1 divided by 60 times 0.1.
$1 divided by
60.
times 0.1.
Do the math.
$1 0.0.
Divided by 60.
1
Oh,
divided by 60.
The calculation for that's 0.00.
You see, you can't trade.
Trade kidogo.
That's why unapata most people go to scalp, whereby they put 5 pips stop loss. So at least 1 divided by 5 times 0.1.
So
Can work.
and now that won't work also because scalping
Exactly.
you lose money.
Eventually you will lose money. So that is why a lot of us people, we were making money sometimes because we were risking too much, and also we were losing a lot of money because of the same reason. And that was a part of our journey, which I think we came to pass by. Blowing accounts, I think they go behind us.
Yeah, now we can't blow.
I think now I think I can now just talk about, because we have a very short time to talk about all this, is our prop farm journey, because we also have to talk about business and what we've been trying to do about business. Our prop farm journey, I think it's almost going to a year now.
Yeah, since we started.
Things
I
have
think
been
if
tough.
you watch the podcast video, I talked about it. That I gave a shout out to you, saying you're the one who brought us into it.
So I remember that time I didn't have much capital to trade. At least Ken had some capital to trade. So for me, I just resorted to maybe researching into getting capital. I remember even researching PAM systems from Alpari broker, just trying to get some people as someone I can start trading the small accounts, and then maybe leverage in any way. So I came across prop farms. I think came across FTMO. Nikaanza kuchipanga. I shared with you guys the plan. And as you guys just are saying, like, you have to first of all accept losing, understand that most times your plan is not over ambitious, system over ambitious, but
It's not realistic.
not even not realistic, but it's all about probabilities. Again, there's a probability you can either achieve your goals in that time you said, and there's a probability you can miss that time that you had planned for the maybe for what you had planned for. So it's all about probability. So maybe let's even say it's a 50-50. So there's a 50-50, maybe the first account you had, again, the 100,000 account, there's a 50-50 chance maybe you would have entered or you'd have
Missed.
lost. No, exactly. It's a win or loss thing also.
Mm.
And that is the thing about maybe prop firms. Maybe what people need to understand about prop firms is understand that it's a very risky fund in terms of it going down, because at any one point in your trading, in the long term scenario, maybe a 12% drawdown is not magic. You see, and that is their limit. Most prop firms 10, FTMO is 10%. So even with maybe good risk management, sometimes you can easily get to a 10% drawdown in the long run of your career. You see, so I think 10% drawdowns have been seen in most trading careers. We've had those drawdowns ourselves. So it's something that can happen. So that is one thing that you need to understand. First of all, it's when you get into maybe a pro firm, you need to understand that you need to maybe create your own personal fund on the side very, very quickly, because it allows
Once you've entered.
Yeah. Maybe once you've entered.
So you can easily build your own $200,000 account using prop firm.
Yeah, true. And now that should be the main goal, because looking at the risk of the account maybe going is also not too
Hi.
not too high. It's too high. It's
Too high.
Yeah, the risk of the account going is too high also. So that is also one thing you need to understand. Another thing is when you lose on a pro firm, doesn't mean you're not trading well.
Good
Because
point.
for them, they're just trying to give you a time limit to see if it's sort of like a challenge. Actually, it's a challenge, you know. No? See at in the real trading is challenge trading, and that is why actually I came to understand, as Ken you're saying, in a challenge you have to be aggressive. You see, maybe in normal conditions you can choose to,
And that's why we also took time to pass them, because we started being conservative.
Yeah, true.
But I think that's the point. Like, even as you go through it, you discover that, okay, like for me, I can, just to add on what you're saying, like, if I look at how I started, the way I was viewing it, I was like, I need to be conservative. So I remember the first challenge I started, I had 4 winning trades in a row. 4. And if those 4 winning trades, I had risked a percentage on each, I would have easily have gotten in.
You're doing what, 0.5?
I was doing 0.5.
So you had a 4% return.
So I had a 4% return from 4 very good trades.
Which is hard to find.
You get? So it's very, very important, even as you do the challenge, to think strategically. Like, at certain risk levels, you can't get in.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I've even discovered, even 1.5 risk is the ideal risk. But you should be very selective.
Yeah.
That's why you should be keen on, like, where you risk this 1.5 is well thought out. Like, you're prudent, you take your time. Awake it though. And I'll fluctuate in our moods and such. No, you're trading systematically, rationally, in an organized, planned, consistent, process-oriented way. You're not even focused on the outcomes. If you can do that, by there you can easily reap out a lot of cash from these prop firms. Easily. Okay. Especially because also if you think about it, let's say you even take 2-3 years to get into a prop firm. But once you're in, you scale up very fast. So it tells you in less than 3 years, you could
be having $1 million, $2 million.
Exactly. Easily. If you have $1 million and you're just returning 3-4%, you have $40,000 every month. It's not a bad return.
How much dollars?
$40,000. So you just have to be patient, I think long term.
Yeah. Because I was saying, like, I think I've done how many challenges now? I think 4. Paid for how much? 4.
Yeah.
Give
paid
or
for 4. Yeah,
I think I've done
4.
3.
3.
Yeah. You have done 2. Would you have also done 3?
Basi mimi nimefanya 3, yeah?
Because me remember I
paid
started
50,
mine
50.
with my year
mine
will
is
end
3.
in
Mine is 3.
October.
50,
I
50
started
and
the
15.
The first one I started was in October.
So yours is how many?
3.
You've done 3, yeah? If you've done 3, then me I think I've done 2.
2 plus the one you went in the third one. Okay.
Last year you did 1.
I did 1. Yeah, last year I started the same time with Ken.
But you did 1.
Yeah, we did 1. which I
Does
did this
The
year,
one again you did again in January.
February.
Okay.
Mm.
And then, give or take, I'm not sure. I think this is my second or third.
Yeah,
Mm.
pretty much.
We
See,
should talk
and
about
still,
this by the way, guys.
still we are still struggling to get in. It's not an easy game. As you can see, you need to adjust a lot of things from how you trade.
Yeah.
From the risk level you trade, maybe on your own personal funds. Again, I also talk this with my psychologist, is as you enter into a prop firm, understand that the risk is just losing. Like, the only risk you're taking is losing the
Money you've paid.
Yeah, the money you've paid. And if you don't want to, if you're not comfortable with losing that amount of money, then just don't get into that prop firm. You see, if you see like $500 is too much for you to lose, if you lose a challenge, then just struggle, save your 500, another 500, start your own money at $1,000, grow pole pole.
Hey,
You know, nah? Exactly.
ROI.
ROI, exactly. So for me, I always
Return
say
on
exactly,
investment.
when you look at the risk that you're taking, the $500 to get $100,000, that is almost 1:200.
Yep.
1:200 risk reward ratio. You see,
If you're paying what for it? 500,
for $10,000 for $100,000.
100,000.
it is 1:200.
Like there's no
Because
way.
$100,000 divided by 500 is 200.
Listen, even if the probabilities of getting in are 10, even if you do the expected value calculation, let's say you're at the worst, so the only probability you have of getting in is 10.
Yeah.
Okay, that means out of 10 challenges, only one
Only one can.
daughter succeed.
Yeah.
So, but the minute you get in, let's say you spend $5,000 to get $100,000. That's the real calculation. Okay. So if you've spent
That
$5,000,
means you've done it 10 times.
10 times, yeah.
so if you've spent $5,000 to get $100,000, once you get in and you just make 5%, you've returned all this cash.
Exactly. Just 5.
Just 5. Okay.
Your money is back.
If
Money
I
is
make
back.
another 5, I've made 100% return. So,
Mm.
and anytime I make 5% or more,
It's just growing.
it's just
Growing.
So there's no way you're not doing these things.
Exactly. And I remember I showed you that guy who did 22 challenges,
Yeah.
For FTMO.
both FTMO and MFF. And is currently with $1 million in just under 2 years.
You did all of them in 2 years.
Yeah, in under 2 years.
Under 2 years.
Imagine next
But
time
that
on
one,
$1 million.
you need to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if us were saying we've done 3-4 in a whole year.
There you need to be aggressive. So
Need to
what
be
you do, I
aggressive.
think, is once you're in,
Yeah.
every
Like
cash
for me, I
that
remember
you
there was
make,
a
you
time.
just
There was a
pay for
time.
the
There was a
new
time. This year I was not in the challenge.
What?
This year for a long time, I think for 4 months I was not in the challenge. So you see that those are the breaks that maybe takes you back
pulls you back.
and pulls you back.
So
Can
can
we
you
move
say?
into business?
Yeah. Business. So trading side, as we've said, things are, it's tough, but we're not giving up.
Giving up.
In the end, it'll all pay off, as my partners have said. What is the ROI? Business side, things are tough. Hakuna kitu rahisi. Before we go deep into that, we now have a certificate. So I've been working on this. So for anyone who does our course, it's a short-term course. Then you get lifetime mentorship. We have a certificate of completion, which is good. We certify you. We give out certificates every month. We'll start with the first one this month. Okay, this month of September. Once we end it, we'll give everyone who's gone through our course a certificate. So yeah. So I really wanted to share about that, and then get into the post mentorship program. So that's that. Business side. We've moved from being 3 of us to in a bedroom in the house to having an office in the heart of Nairobi in town with about, how many are we?
We're about
We've taught
6.
over about 300 students.
Yeah.
And we have a team of about 6-7.
Yeah.
We have a team of 6-7. That's including the developers, the poster guy, graphics.
If you include all of them, that's
Let's
about
give
10.
it 10.
10.
Yeah, so
We have a team of 10, yeah?
we have
There's
a
also
team of
part of us, only that they're not working from the office.
Yes, just that. Yeah, exactly. So we have to count them. They're part of the team.
Douglas back on the camera.
Yeah, we
Shout
have,
out.
we have a guy, Glass. So we're about 10 of us, which is good. We are learning on the job. We used to work alone. It's been a good transition, which came through circumstances, we were really growing, so we had to get more people in the team. So we used to work just the three of us, Ken, Taras, and I. And the good thing about us, we were very autonomous. We knew what we were working towards. So when you're working as an entrepreneur, starting your own thing, as a trader, you know what you're chasing. So no one is telling you, Taras, you need to do analysis. Taras, you need to do journal. All those things, you know what you need to do, and depending on how strong your drive is, you'll put in the time, you'll read books. No one is going to tell you those things. No one told us. So, but it came to a time now we had to expand the team, and now when you're expanding the team, we at first thought people will be like us, and so to say, when people come for interviews, their CVs are flooded with many good things. But we don't pay attention really that much to CV. We want people with drive, people who are willing to put in the time, the sacrifice, just like what we did. If someone was to employ us, we didn't have any CV. There's nothing that has jangled us. And yeah, so we were the three of us. Now we're expanding. Also, our office we moved from the house to the office in town where we are, Jekwa Towers, just a 3-man office, which was good for us. But it figured a point we couldn't host the people we were employing. The students were growing. We needed more traction. Okay, so we now moved into a 7-man office, same place. And now we are thinking of moving into a what? Ken knows the details. What office?
30-man office.
30-man office. So the plans are under constructions.
Which
we'll share them out soon.
You guys will hear it soon. I'm planning to do a documentary behind the scenes. We shoot. By the time it's coming out, at least you guys have heard it here firsthand. Yeah. I'll start. Like what you're doing today, what you did today is things you should get on camera. Serious?
Yeah, true.
But we'll talk about it. It's a very nice, interesting story. So yeah, you guys can share how far we've come.
Yep. So I think, like you're saying, actually for me, it's just thinking about how, like, as much as things are tough, things are also opening up. I think the industry itself, let's not even just focus on our business, like the FX industry itself has grown a bit. Watu wamejua Forex. As much as there are many people doing it in a shoddy way, I think the most important thing is first they're creating the awareness. Because by the end of the day, the real question is, will you ever know the truth?
What truth?
Of how hard trading is, or what really needs to be done, or who's doing it professionally. Because there'll come a point where we'll know this company does it professionally, this is bogus. And people will know. Like,
know the difference.
We'll know the difference.
Yeah.
So right now, it's very hard for most people to tell the difference between those who are doing it professionally. Okay, you can. Some people have done their research and they can tell.
Yeah.
The majority of the people are still lost in the hype and
Yeah.
doing it over the phone like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have a working desk.
Yeah.
Unafanyanga trading. Trading na simu. You've never read a book about trading. You
know fundamentals.
You don't know fundamentals. You've never watched anything about trading. Yani uliona influencer tu akiongelea trading alafu ka download app ukafungua account kaweka $20.
Which influencers are this?
Na wanasema wewe ni trader. So I think also by the end of the day, when people now realize what trading is, professional trading, it's a full-time career, needs a lot of attention mentally. Like even being trained is something that being trained is something that needs to be done professionally also.
Yeah.
Kupata. Yani train mtu tu mwambie we
now go do your thing.
We ati we kuja nikisho. Unaona ukiona hii blue we nunua, ukiona hii uza. No. You pass along as a skill, you pass along some resources.
You
pass along some truths. So hata venye like the process of training needs to be professional. It doesn't need to happen like in a shoddy way. I get. So I think that's what we have kind of done with the business. We have been able to distinguish ourselves that professionally. And I think the move now to the bigger office that you're saying will now like show that clearly, because we'll have enough room for us to like facilitate all the ideas that we've always wanted to have finally in one place, at least for the first time now that will happen. We'll consolidate what we've always wanted. We just want to see what will happen after doing that. also. I think by the end of the day, it's a question of taking risks, trying out new things, and seeing how things will pan out. Like it's not like we're certain things will work out.
It's trying your best.
It's just trying your best and doing what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Paperstone is an award-winning online global Forex and CFD broker. It offers unparalleled service, exceptional pricing, and quick execution speed.
So I think that's what I'd say is the final word for Financial Hub.
Yeah.
Because even for us to get to places where we can certify people, it's just a question of taking each step at the right place. It's not a question of drawing them up and following it. It's just a question of taking a step on each point as you move. So that's what I think we're doing at this point. Yep.
Taras.
Okay, as we finalize, for me, I think I can now say about on the business part of it, the struggles, because for us in terms of how we've been running our business, the trading side and the education side, we've always wanted them to be independent in terms of how they finance themselves. So we try not to use our education money to trade and not our trading money to run FAB. So
yeah, that's a good point. We've never done that.
Yeah,
many
true.
people do that. They sell courses.
They sell courses to get maybe money to trade. But for us, for us, our goal is to grow FAB as an independent body, because also we also have a goal of maybe developing the trading side into maybe an investment firm that is also on the work. So there's a lot of things we are working on. But for FAB now, for the fact that it has to run on itself, it has been a very, very tough journey sometimes when we started out only with 3 months of runway.
Runway capital
with COVID coming in. So it was a very tough time for FAB to run itself. Sometimes we
almost closed the office.
Yeah.
First year.
Sometimes we were calling emergency meetings
with no plan to
with
go.
No plan, exactly. So it's been a struggle of resilience again for business. I think business doesn't come easy. A lot of people think business is easy, like as long as you just make money. There's a lot of expenses coming into business. You can be getting clients, yes, but at the end of it all, you don't see net positive in your bank. So especially as you start out and you're bootstrapping your company, it's a very tough journey. So a lot of the money you make, you don't even get to eat a shilling of it.
Yeah, we came to learn. We used to hear this quote where they say, leaders eat last. We didn't know what it meant till you started the business.
True.
And it's true. You have no option. You're going to eat last. That's by default, Yeah,
true, because you have to service your business expenses even before you service your own maybe home rent, you see.
You have to pay the people working for you before you pay
before exactly. You can even choose to not pay your home rent, but you pay your
We've done that many times.
Yeah, many times.
So you don't even to stay in the house because the landlord is disturbing you, rather stay in the office. There's a time Taras was saying didn't lale kwa ofisi.
Exactly. So
back then.
But that was part of the of developing a business, especially a young business.
As a person.
Of course, builds you as a person. Actually, I was talking to Ken Kimambia. Business it's tough, but very interesting. It's tough.
That's the thing.
I can't not think about these are the struggles. How will I get this?
If you don't have struggles,
who will I hire here? How do I fire? These are very interesting. So. Business has been difficult. We've had a team shuffles. We've had different teams. A lot of people coming to work for us. I think they always leave happy, saying we've done a good job in trying to help them develop also in their trading. So for everyone who comes to work for us, also you have room to learn how to trade markets. Even if you're a salesperson, we will show you how to sell market, how to trade markets. Because we want you to trade, to maybe promote what you really understand, or maybe a product that you resonate with. So we've had a couple of hires. Business is about, like, none of us went. We don't have a HR team. It's about me, Ken, kufanya research hapo about how to hire, how to fire.
You're head of marketing. You've never done marketing.
Yeah, exactly. But through research, through the drive to make things work, because that I think is everything about entrepreneurship. And even Ken, you did project management. It's about making things work out. Exactly. So if you have, yeah, exactly, ensuring like end goal has been met, like things are working out, and that is all about business. So it's difficult also. we improved our office space, but still not sufficient. So that is
And that's just 3 months ago.
yeah, that's about 3 months ago. So still business is growing pretty fast, so we appreciate it also. We appreciate everyone who also comes to learn from us. Means a lot. I think it's all about just impact, like the impact we give. I think that is all about what drives us. So let's tell Ken, you can make so much money in trading, and not in education. But we are here to at least help other people understand, like the power of the markets, be sort of independent and financially independent, and also maybe independent, and maybe there's a lot about trading that can really help a lot of people, especially the youth. I was talking with Ken and Caleb about the illiteracy rates level in Africa, about 75% level.
Illiterate.
Yeah, are illiterate, exactly. Only about 25 know what they're doing. So it's not a really good picture. And I think
comparing that, you said the US,
okay, actually globally financial literacy is pretty low. A lot of people are not financially literate, especially if you look at even in Asia. A lot of people in India are not literate. A lot of Chinese people
don't understand anything.
Yeah, they don't understand exactly markets, maybe savings, investments, banking. A lot of
personal finance.
I think about is it 2 billion people are unbanked. They don't have banks. So there's a lot of room this is worldwide now. Yeah, there's a lot of room like to explore this market and expand it, solve the problems as you become a great trader. So I believe part of being a good trader is impacting other people, because that is, we've seen that with Redalio. Seen that with a lot of traders who do now charity. That is also maybe you can even when can come to a point we can now decide this is now charity, because you're making billions of money maybe from trading, you see. So there's a lot of maybe things that can change about business and trading, but that is where we are right now, and I hope you journey with us through this.
Yeah, so that's basically it. There's a lot. We've just talked about the surface. Right now, as my partners have said, we've reached a point where we really want to expand. So we're looking for bigger offices, bigger space, bigger team, bigger students, a more professional. Because what we're doing is there's no benchmark. So we are really pushing to become the benchmark that people say, if you want to do trading, follow the steps of Financial Hub. If you want to do finance, if you want to do personal finance, teaching people, there's this way these guys are doing differently. And part of this, we also want to travel more so that we can learn from people abroad and all that. But that's why we are. We like it. It's fun. Not all the time we have the money. Sometimes the money comes, the money goes. People come, join us, people go. It's part of life. Everything has a start, everything has an end. And now where we are not in the end.
Yeah.
So there's a lot coming. I'm excited. I'm really excited. It's hard. It's not easy. I won't lie. Now we're looking for even more funding, more get more, so that we can finance these bigger spaces. So that's what we're really putting our eyes out there. If you've seen us, if you follow us on socials, you're seeing that we're going for networking events. Ken was talking about network capital. It's very, very important to build such stuff, especially as a startup and as an entrepreneur, as a business person, anyone. It's good to build your proper networks. So that's where we are. We'll do a better recap once things have gone further. Like I said, I'll do a documentary. We'll try our best. Just show you guys our journey. It's very fun, very hard, it's just that we're guys, we don't cry. But if someone could go through what we're going through, you can really cry at sometimes, which is not a bad thing. It's a good way to vent. So that's pretty much it. I think we're done, boys, for today. And I'll see you guys next week, as usual, in the next podcast. And like I always say, when I'm finishing my podcast, always remember to stay woke, stay financially literate. See you guys next week.
Thank you very much for watching Financial Hub's content on YouTube. For more Forex analysis, financial education, podcasts, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.